You're tuned to Arrow FM, your local community access radio station. The time now, 8 o'clock, time for another hour of the great music that came out in the 1960s with the 60s Nostalgia Show. The 60s Nostalgia Show is kindly sponsored by Cotter and Stevens, the electrical contractors down in Jellicoe Street in Martinborough. Cotter and Stevens have been around in the Wairarapa for a long time, supplying quality workmanship and service in the electrical field, whether that be private or commercial. Tonight on the show we're going to play tribute to three musical legends that we have lost over the last few weeks, and because they were so influential and important, we're going to play three songs from each of them. But before we get to that, let's sit back and listen to the Jet Set and Casino Royale. And that was the theme song to Casino Royale, the spoof version that came out in the 1960s. As I said, over the last few weeks we have lost three legends, Don Everly, Charlie Watts, and the country singer-songwriter Tom T. Hall. So we'll tribute these guys, and we'll play three songs from each of them. And Don Everly, of course, a part of the Everly Brothers, really influential on a lot of bands in America, and particularly in the UK, and particularly, if you like, the Beatles and the harmony groups like the Hollies. Don Everly was born in 1937, and it was a couple of years earlier than Phil Everly, who passed away in 2014. And the boys grew up in a musical family, first appearing on radio, singing along with their mother and father as the Everly family in the 1940s. And of course they had a whole string of hits in the 1950s and also the 1960s. And we'll start off with a couple from 1960, starting off with When Will I Be Loved?
I
last track from the Everly Brothers, the big hit they had in 1960, the song called Kathy's a Clown.
Don't want your love anymore. Don't want your kisses, that's for sure. I die each time I hear this sound. Here he comes, that's Kathy's clown. I've gotta stand tall. You know a man can't crawl. But when he knows you tell lies and he lets them pass him by, he's not a man at all. Don't want your love anymore. Don't want your kisses, that's for sure. I die each time I hear this sound. Here he comes, that's Kathy's clown. When you see me shed a tear, and you know that it's sincere, don't you think it's kinda sad that you're treating me so bad, or don't you even care? Don't want your love anymore. Don't want your kisses, that's for sure. I die each time I hear this sound. Here he comes, that's Kathy's clown. That's Kathy's clown. That's Kathy's clown.
The Everly Brothers there and Kathy's Clown, a great act. The Everly Brothers, very influential and had those close harmonies that only siblings seem to be able to achieve. Right, the next person we lost in August was, of course, Charlie Watts, who died on the 24th of August, aged 80, the legendary drummer with the Rolling Stones. He was born in London, and he originally trained as a graphic artist, but really got into the musical side of it. And after a stint with Alexis Corner, he joined the Rolling Stones in January 1963 and made his first appearance with them the following month. And of course, he's often been quoted as saying he didn't exactly think that the group would last very long. He was only anticipating a few weeks, and in actual fact he remained with them for 58 years. Another quote of Charlie Watts was that he said he had the greatest job on earth. He could play the drums and get paid a lot of money for it. The only downside was it that he had to sit down and during the entire performance had to look at Mick Jagger's backside.
Guys all dressed up just like the union.
For this tribute to Charlie Watts, I've tried to pick tracks that you can hear his work on the drums. He was certainly the glue or the guiding light of the Rolling Stones and their rhythm, and he shared that great partnership for many years with Bill Wyman on the bass, and along with Keith Richards on rhythm guitar. They were certainly a great rhythm section for a band. So next up, the track's Honky Tonk Woman, where you can, if you have a good listen, hear his great drumming. The Rolling Stones there, Honky Tonk Woman, bringing the time to 20 minutes after 8 o'clock here on Arrow FM, and you're listening to the 60s Nostalgia Show, which is kindly sponsored by Connor and Stevens, the electrical wizards down in Martinborough. Right, the last Stones song I've got lined up is 19th, Nervous Breakdown.
Here it
And the Rolling Stones there, of course, featuring the drumming of Charlie Watts. And in 1989, Charlie Watts was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and in 2004 he was inducted into the UK Music Hall of Fame along with the Rolling Stones, and is often regarded as one of the greatest drummers of all time, and he certainly is. Now, the last passing I want to mark is that of the American country music singer-songwriter Tom T. Hall, who passed away on the 20th of August, aged 85. He was known, or had a nickname of the storyteller, and he was a guy who based a lot of his songs on his personal observations and personal things that have happened, and also from tales told to him by other people, and certainly a magnificent songwriter. And I've got several of his LPs at home, and I always enjoy putting on a Tom T. Hall LP. Overall, he had 12 number one hits. Of course, that would be in the country charts in the States, and also had a number one pop crossover in 1969 with this version of Harper Valley PTA by Jeannie C. Riley.
I want to tell you all a story about a Harper Valley widowed wife who had a teenage daughter who attended Harper Valley Junior High. Well, her daughter came home one afternoon and didn't even stop to play. And she said, "Mama, got a note here from the Harper Valley PTA." Well, the note said, "Mrs. Johnson, you're wearing your dress is way too high. It's reported you've been drinking and running round with men and going wild. And we don't believe you ought to be bringing up your little girl this way." And it was signed by the secretary, Harper Valley PTA. Well, it happened that the PTA was gonna meet that very afternoon, and they were sure surprised when Mrs. Johnson wore her mini skirt into the room. And as she walked up to the blackboard, I can still recall the words she had to say. She said, "I'd like to address this meeting of the Harper Valley PTA. Well, there's Bobby Taylor sitting there, and 7 times he's asked me for a date. And Mrs. Taylor sure seems to use a lot of ice whenever he's away. And Mr. Baker, can you tell us why your secretary had to leave this town? And shouldn't Widow Jones be told to keep her window shades all pulled completely down?" Well, Mr. Harper couldn't be here 'cause he stayed too long at Kelly's bar again. And if you'll smell Shirley Thompson's breath, you'll find she's had a little nip of gin. And then you have the nerve to tell me you think that as a mother I'm not fit. Well, this is just a little Peyton place, and you're all Harper Valley hypocrites. No, I wouldn't put you on because it really did. It happened just this way. The day my mama
Jeannie C. Riley there, Harper Valley PTA. Right, next up we'll have a song that was on an album that he put out in 1969, and the song's called A Ballad of $40, and we'll follow that one up with probably one of his biggest hits, and I'm cheating here because it came out I think in 1970 or 71, a song called the year that Clayton Delaney died. But first up, it's a ballad of $40.
The man who preached the funeral said it really was a simple way to die. He lay down to rest one afternoon and never opened up his eyes. They hired me and Fred and Joe to dig the grave and carry up some chairs. It took us 7 hours, and I guess we must have drunk a case of beer. I guess I ought to go and watch them put him down, but I don't own a suit. And anyway, when they start talking about the fire in hell, well, I get spooked. So I'll just sit here in my truck and act like I don't know him when they pass. Anyway, when they're all through, I've got to go to work and mow the grass. Well, here they come, and who's that riding in that big old shiny limousine? Look at all that chrome, I do believe that that's the sharpest thing I've seen. That must belong to his great uncle. Someone said he owned a big old farm. When they get parked, I'll mosey down and look it over, that won't do no harm. Well, that must be the widow in the car, and would you take a look at that? That sure is a pretty dress. You know, some women do look good in black. He's not even in the ground, and they say that his truck is up for sale. They say she took it pretty hard, but you can't tell too much behind the veil. Well, listen, ain't that pretty when the bugler plays the military tap? I think that when you're in the war, they always hide and play a song like that. Well, here I am and there they go, and I guess you just call it my bad luck. I hope he rests in peace, the trouble is the fella owes me $40. I remember the year that Clayton Delaney died. They said for the last 2 weeks that he suffered and cried. It made a big impression on me, although I was a barefoot kid. They said he got religion at the end, and I'm glad that he did. Clayton was the best guitar picker in our town. I thought he was a hero, and I used to follow Clayton around. I often wondered why Clayton, who seemed so good to me, never took his guitar and made it down in Tennessee. Well, Daddy said he drank a lot, but I could never understand. I knew he used to pick up in Ohio where the fire span. And Clayton used to tell me, son, you better put that old guitar away. There ain't no money in it, it'll lead you to an early grave. I guess if I'd admit it, Clayton taught me how to drink booze. I can see him half stoned, picking out the lovesick blues. When Clayton died, I made him a promise I was gonna carry on somehow. I'd give $100 if he could only see me now. I remember the year that Clayton Delaney died. Nobody ever knew it, but I went out in the woods and I cried. While I know there's a lot of big preachers that know a lot more than I do, but it could be that the good Lord likes a little picking too. Yeah, I remember the year that Clayton Delaney died.
Tonty Hall, and the year that Clayton Delaney died brought the time to 24 minutes to 9 o'clock here on Arrow FM, and you're listening to the 60s Nostalgia Show, which is kindly sponsored by Cotter and Stevens, the electrical maestros down in Martinborough. And that means I've only got another 24 minutes to survive until 9 o'clock, so hopefully the croaky voice will last out. And if you are actually worried, it doesn't hurt at all, it's just frustrating. Right, we'll have one more song from Tom T. Hall, and again, this song came out in 1969, a song called A Week in a Country Jail.
Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. One time I spent a week inside a little country jail, and I don't guess I'll ever live it down. I was sitting at a red light when these two men came and got me and said that I was speeding through their town. Well, they said tomorrow morning you can see the judge, then go. They let me call one person on the phone. I thought I'd be there overnight, so I just called my boss to tell him I'd be off, but not for long. Well, they motioned me inside a cell with 7 other guys, one little barred up window in the rear. My cellmate said if they had let me bring some money in, we ought to send the jailer for some beer. Well, I had to pay him double 'cause he was the man in charge, and the jailer's job was not the best in town. Later on, his wife brought hot bologna, eggs, and gravy. The first day I was there, I turned it down. Well, next morning they just let us sleep, but I was up real early, wondering when I'd get my release. Later on we got more hot bologna, eggs, and gravy, and by now I wasn't quite so hard to please. 2 days later, when I thought that I'd been forgotten, the sheriff came in chewing on a straw. He said, "Where is the guy who thinks that this is Indianapolis? I'd like to talk to him about the law." Well, I told him who I was and told him I was working steady, and I really should be getting on my way. That part about me being who I was did not impress him. He said the judge will be here any day. The jailer had a wife, and let me tell you, she was awful, but she brought that hot bologna every day. And after 7 days, she got to looking so much better. I asked her if she'd like to run away. Well, next morning, that old judge took every nickel that I had, and he said, "Son, let this teach you not to race. The jailer's wife was smiling from the window as I left. In 30 minutes, I was out of state.
The brilliant songwriting there of Tom T. Hall. Tom T. Hall actually toured New Zealand several times, and I can recall seeing him in concert down in Wellington a couple of times in the 1970s, and yeah, he put on a great show, and it was always good to hear his take on some of the background to the music.
Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty wind. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty wind. Everybody's building ships and boats. Some are building monuments, others are jotting down notes. Everybody's in despair, every girl and boy. But when Quinn the Eskimo gets here, everybody's gonna jump for joy. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. I like to go just like the rest. I like my sugar sweet. But jumping queues and making haste just ain't my cup of meat. Everyone's beneath the trees feeding pigeons on a limb. But when Quinn the Eskimo gets here, all the pigeons gonna run to him. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Let me do what I wanna do. I can't decide them all. Just tell me where to put them, and I'll tell you who to call. Nobody can get no sleep with someone on everyone's toes. But when Quinn the Eskimo gets here, everybody's gonna wanna doze. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Come on without.
sense. And this crying and grieving will both live a lot longer if you live without me. So don't get me wrong, it's not that I knock it, it's just that I'm not in the market for a boy who wants to love only me. Yes, and I ain't saying you ain't pretty, I'm saying I'm not ready for any person, place or thing. Time for the rain in on me. So goodbye, I believe and I see no sense. For this crying and grieving will both live a lot longer if you live without me.
Two in a row there, starting off with Manfred Mann and a Mighty Quinn, and following that up with the Stone Ponies featuring Linda Ronstadt, and a song written by Mike Nesmith of the Monkees, song called A Different Drum. Right, 14 minutes to 9 o'clock. Let's have a great song from The Searchers and Sweets for My Sweet.
Sweets for my sweet, sugar for my honey. Your first sweet kiss thrills me so. Sweets for my sweet, sugar for my honey. I'll never ever let you go. If you wanted that star that shines so brightly to match the stardust in your eye, darling, I would chase that bright star nightly and try to steal it from the sky. And I would bring sweets for my sweet, sugar for my honey. Your first sweet kiss thrills me so. Sweets for my sweet, sugar for my honey. I'll never ever let you go. To keep you smiling, I'd tell the Sandman you were blue, and I'd ask him to keep that sand up piling until your dreams would all come true. And I would bring sweets for my sweet, sugar for my honey. Your first sweet kiss thrills me so. Sweets for my sweet, sugar for my honey. I'll never ever let you go. Sweet sugar for my honey. Your first sweet kiss thrills me so. Sweets for my sweet, sugar for my honey. I'll never ever let you go.
The Searchers there, Sweets for My Sweet, and The Searchers, one of those great bands from Liverpool. So I thought we'd play a couple of other songs from a band that did reasonably well, that started off in Liverpool.
You say yes, I say no. You say stop, and I say go, go, go. Oh no. You say goodbye, and I say hello. Hello, hello. I don't know why you say goodbye, I say hello.
I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Yeah, there will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Yeah, let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. Oh, there will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
Two in a row there from the Beatles, bringing to a close another edition of the 60s Nostalgia Show, which has been kindly sponsored by Collar and Stevens, the electrical contractors down in Jellicoe Street in Martinborough. And the first hearing of the program was when it was broadcast all over the wonderful Wairarapa on Arrow FM 92.7. All right, that's my lot for this week, and managed to survive the 2 hours without running out of voice, although you could probably hear that the tank might be getting a little empty. So there won't be much rambling on from me, other than to give you the a weather forecast for the next few days here in the Wairarapa, and tonight's going to get down to 4 degrees, 13 degrees a high. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a possible morning shower with southwesterlies, and on Sunday, a minimum of 0 degrees, a top of 15 degrees, partly cloudy, nor'westerlies are becoming strong. Alright, that's my lot for tonight. Before I go, I'll put on some commercial-free Kiwi music, and that'll take you right through until the next scheduled program with, if I remember correctly, it is Pick and Mix, and it comes on at 9:30. You're tuned to Arrow FM, your local community access radio station that broadcasts all over the wonderful Wairarapa on 92.7. The time now is 1 minute to 9 o'clock. Time for some commercial-free Kiwi music.